Today I'm going to be testing some body armor on Sunday Gun Day. What's going on, everyone? Back with another episode of Stuff and Things. It is currently 18 degrees outside. Real feel is 9, going to a low of 5, real feel of -3. So I'm going to be filming part of this video inside, but don't worry, I'm going to be getting outside and shooting in just a little bit. So what am I going to be shooting today? As you can tell, this video isn't really about a gun, but rather what I'm going to be shooting at. How about some Premier body armor? I got both of these panels in a mail time a couple of weeks ago. You may have seen that video. If you want to check it out, the link is right here. These are Premier's relatively new backpack panels. As you can see, they're about 6 millimeters thin. They're really thin, and it almost feels like a notebook. The panels are level 3A, rated up to a 44 Magnum. On the backs of both of these, you'll find more information. This is a smaller panel, 10 by 12. Also some instructions on telling you how to actually use this thing. The testing standards, they're actually serialized, manufacturing date, warranty period of 5 years, and made in the USA. So as all of you know, I'm just a normal dude, not military or police, so why would someone like myself even want body armor like this? These panels are really for the people who are in that prepper type of mindset. I do consider myself pretty prepared for situations, but I wouldn't put myself in the prepper type of category. However, I can see situations where this would be a lifesaver, an actual lifesaver. So I'm obviously a law-abiding citizen. I do tend to carry a gun pretty much wherever I can. However, as most of you know, there are a ton of gun-free zones, gun-free states that I travel into pretty frequently, so this thing can't come with me everywhere I go. These body armor panels, on the other hand, can come with me. There is nothing against the law about carrying one of these with you. Now, some of you are probably like, what, are you super paranoid about getting shot? Why are you gonna carry body armor panels everywhere you go? If I'm putting myself in a prepper situation, what these basically are things that you just throw in your backpack and forget about, and that's exactly what they're for. This bigger panel in particular is designed specifically for 511 tactical backpacks. Here I have a 511 Rush 24. This isn't a bug out bag, however a lot of people use these as bug out bags. In here I basically just have a lot of my camping stuff. Now if you have one of these packs, you may notice on the back side here that the shape of this looks awfully similar to this panel, because this is designed specifically to fit in these packs. Now put yourself in a situation where you just have this backpack on, or any backpack for that matter. This could work for my camera bag. Say you're a student in school or at a college or university, you're in a hospital, government type of building, or you're just at work where they won't let you carry a firearm. Something really terrible breaks out, there's gunfire, and you don't have anything to protect yourself. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is shield yourself, so if you're wearing your backpack, you simply flip it around like this. Now if you have one of these level 3A body armor panels in the back here, I'll just unzip this here and place the panel in the back with the logo facing away from me as per their instructions. This slips right down inside, hold the lip over the top of it. As you can see, a super precise fit. If I took this label off here, you wouldn't even really know that this is a Kevlar panel in the back. Zip this right back up, and now, if you're wearing your backpack like this, literally all of your vitals in the front are completely covered. Some of you out there have served or are serving in the military, and you know the size of the plates in your carriers. They're about the size of this smaller panel, maybe a little bit smaller, but they're made out of steel and ceramic, so they're a lot heavier. These are super light. Like I said, it's basically like a notebook in the backpack, and I can't tell any weight difference. So right now, in theory, and I'm saying in theory because I haven't actually tested these yet, but this should be able to stop up to a 44 Magnum handgun round. Granted, this thing isn't going to be stopping any rifle rounds, no ARs, AKs, 5.56, 7.62, anything like that. But it's better than nothing, right? So these panels should serve as a pretty good form of protection in a really extreme situation. The panel is in this backpack now. There's still room for a laptop in there, and I really don't even notice that it's there, so why not just keep it there? From $125 to $175 for the one that's in my backpack right now. I think that's a price that I would be willing to spend, and maybe some of you would be willing to spend, just to have a little bit of a fighting chance to save your life. Now for the fun part in actually testing these things, I'm obviously not not gonna recommend them if they don't perform as I think they're going to. So now I need to put some rounds into this thing. I currently don't have anything that shoots a 44 mag, which is the top that this thing is rated to. However, I do have access to a lot of very common caliber handguns and some common calibers that you might find in criminal cases, which would be flying at these things. First, I guess I will start off with the trusty old Glock 19 9mm, but then we need to move it up to something a little bit bigger. I'm thinking some 45 out of a trusty old 1911. And then maybe I should bring out a handgun that will definitely push these panels past their limit. However, it would be kind of neat to see what these things do past failure. These panels are definitely not rated to stop 50 AE out of a Desert Eagle, but I always look for excuses to shoot this thing, so why not? Let's go outside and see what this thing can stop. Alright, I'm out here and it is cold, so let's make this quick. I'm going to try to keep this test as realistic as possible, so I'm going to be placing the smaller body armor panel inside of a backpack. I'm just going to zip this thing closed with nothing in it. Obviously, if you're carrying a backpack around day to day, you're going to have stuff in there that's going to slow down the bullet before it gets to the panel. So this is basically going to be like a worst case situation. You have nothing in your backpack, it's basically just the panel in there. Another thing that makes this... Trying to film, dude. Another thing that makes this sort of a worst case situation is that I'm only going to be standing about 10 yards. So you can sort of picture a situation where you're standing in a gas station waiting to pay, an attacker walks right through the front door, and you're just this far away from him. Will this panel be able to stop a bullet? How many will it be able to stop, and what size? Let's find out. I'm going to start with one of the most common handgun calibers, 9mm. This is Full Metal Jacket 115 grain. Let's do 2 shots, I guess. Let's see if that did anything. Here we have shot 1 and shot 2 up here. As you can see, no mark at all in the back. It was actually hard to kind of tell where they're at on the front there. I don't know if you guys can see that too well on camera. I'm trying to feel around for like bullet fragments in there. It doesn't really feel lumpy or anything, so let's try 2 more. It's hard to tell where the panel is actually sitting in there because it's not made for this like cheap knockoff backpack, but it's kind of just floating around in the bottom. Accuracy might not be the best thing. There we have 2 more, another shot here, another shot low, and that was almost like out of the bottom of the Kevlar. On the back, it did split the seam across the bottom, but the bullet fragments are actually still in there, so it didn't penetrate all the way through. That would definitely be saving your life, but it would also hurt really bad. I mean, this little panel with a backpack, if you're getting shot, it's still gonna hurt, but that's gonna save your life. Now I'm gonna kick it up a notch to 45. Here's a comparison of a 45 round versus a 9mm round. As you can see, a lot more power and just a bigger projectile out of the 45. Can't really feel my fingers, but we'll try to get as close to center mass as possible. Two shots out of the 45, let's see what that did. Alright, definitely much bigger, more noticeable holes on there, obviously because it tears the outer layer. You can sort of see through to the Kevlar there, but no penetration on the back. I can actually feel the bullets in here. It's kind of lumpy. Let's see if I can get it out of the bottom. No, I can't get it out. It's wedged in there in the Kevlar fibers. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do, stopping and trapping the bullet. So let's do 2 more shots of 45. Alright, there we have 2 more, about center mass again. It's 2 of these 2 here somewhere. Kind of getting lumpier because the Kevlar is getting blown apart, but still no penetration on the backside here. Definitely catching the bullets in there. I can start to feel them now. And that kind of gets me wondering, how many bullets can this thing actually catch? So before we go full-blown Desert Eagle 50 AE, which I think is just going to blow right through this thing, let's see how many 9mm this thing can catch. So in my Glock 19, I have a Glock 17 mag, 17 rounds for my Chris Vector. I'm gonna just put the rest of these in there and see if it'll stop them all. Alright, so that's 17 total 9mm rounds and 4 45 FMJ. I did see some Kevlar flying out of the backpack there, so let's see if it actually stopped any of that. Now we definitely have some penetration there. After 17 rounds, I must have been hitting in this same area here. It did eventually go through the back there. Some bullets are falling out of the bottom as well. But it really looks like just this tight grouping here is what kind of caused that. I'm assuming when the bullet goes in, it fragments, and obviously the direction of it is going to change. So it looks like enough bullets concentrated in one area will eventually cause these things to fail. There's still a bunch of room left over here, completely untouched, so let's put some more into it. That's a little bit better. Now the panel is actually taped to the outside of the backpack so I can see what I'm shooting at. Again, this is absolute worst case scenario. There's going to be more layers of backpack material and other things in front of it in a real life situation, but I'm testing this thing out, so let's see what it can do. Thing keeps falling. This is not easy to do in the cold. It's a lot of rounds, I better look at it. And it falls on the last shot. Alright, definitely blown out at the bottom there. Majority of the shots are pretty much center mass, and then, I mean, after 50 rounds of 9mm, it's obviously gonna fail. However, there are quite a few shots up top here that I was placing once I had it on the outside, and as you can see, there's really none coming through across the top there. You can actually see the different layers too. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 layers of Kevlar in there. Pretty cool to see something like this up close. So now that I've already put 50 rounds into this thing, I might as well go all out and just put a couple rounds of 50 AE in here. I can imagine there's just gonna be a bunch of Kevlar flying out the back. I don't want to put this up against the steel because that would be super dangerous, so instead I'll just put it down lower up against the wood. Alright, 50 AE. These are Hornady Critical Defense hollow points as well, so that's definitely gonna cause a bit more destruction. Actually had a malfunction with the Desert Eagle. I don't think I've cleaned this thing in the 60 rounds that I've shot out of it, but this had a failure to feed. As you can see, it's super dirty in there. That's my own fault. Last one for good measure. I'd say that body panel is toast. Alright, back in the somewhat warmth to look at the final destruction of the 50 AE blows. I shot this thing so much you would think it would kind of be hard to tell where the bullets went, but as you can see, it's just a clear hole right through this outer like nylon type of material, so that's definitely one of the 50s. And then I believe this is one and this is one. So right where they hit, obviously completely blew through, but these things aren't really rated for that. Still bullets falling out. That's a little 9mm there. So the purpose of these panels are just to be put in backpacks and kind of just be forgotten about until they're actually needed. 9mm is probably one of the most commonly used handgun rounds in criminal offenses, and the fact that this thing could stop 4 of those and then 4 45 rounds and then almost 17 more rounds on top of each other before it failed, that's pretty impressive. So these panels aren't the end all be all, but they do offer a little bit of protection. It's pretty cool, so I figured you guys might like them too. So if you guys want to check these panels out for yourself, I will leave a link to Premier Body Armor's website in the description down below. I'll also leave a link for this specific backpack, same double tap gray color. This fits in there perfectly. I'll leave an Amazon link for that if you want to pick up one of these for yourself. In the future, maybe I'll turn this thing into a bug out bag because I'm pretty sure some of you guys would like to see that. Right now it's just my camping stuff, but if you want to see that, also let me know down in the comments or slap a like on the video. So all of that being said, if you are new to this channel, consider clicking subscribe because I make new videos every week, and that is going to be all for today. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.